Hey guys, I'm Dr. Ryan DeBell from The Movement Fix. This is Movement Fix Monday, and we're going to talk about the kind of myth of tight hip flexors. A lot of people say they have tight hip flexors, and if we think about what that really means, we have to decipher the difference between, does it mean the muscle is actually physically short and it needs to be lengthened, or is the brain holding some tone in the muscle and it cannot fully relax? One of the drills I want to look at in sort of a self-test is looking at the function of the abdominal or the rectus abdominis muscles in relation to how the hip flexors function. So let me show this on the spine first so we kind of get an idea of what's going on here. We're going to take a band and we're going to put it around a rack here. And you're going to be laying on your back. And what we're trying to do is, if you think about some ribs coming around on the spine like this, the rectus abdominis muscles go from the ribs and they attach onto the pubic bone. And what we're going to do is bring the legs straight up toward the ceiling, and then underneath the low back is going to be this band. We're going to pin the band to the ground, and both legs are up. One leg is going to lower down one at a time to see if we can keep this band pinned to the ground, because that's going to tell us that the hip flexors, which go from the lumbar spine onto the hip, can actually lengthen while the ab muscles do their job. If you do this drill and the band slips out from underneath your back, it means that when you lower your leg or when you ask the hip flexors to lengthen, it pulls your spine into extension and the band will slip out. So let's see what that actually looks like. And so this is going to be a test that you do on yourself to see, can your abdominal muscles actually stabilize your spine so your hip flexors can relax and lengthen. Because if you sit at a desk all day, we like to blame sitting for your hip flexors being tight, but you get up every hour, every 2 hours, so the muscle goes into its normal resting length. So it's kind of hard to think that the muscle would sort of scar over in 2 hours while you're sitting there, because if you sleep in the fetal position, then wouldn't sleeping for 8 hours in a fetal position be worse than sitting for 2 hours in terms of hip flexor length? So you're going to take this band, you're going to put it under your back like this, under the low back. You're going to put your legs up toward the ceiling, and we can put our arms up. So you can see that the band is pinned here. And I'm going to lower one leg at a time and see if I can keep the band pinned to the ground. So if you can keep the band pinned, you know that your abs are strong enough to counteract sort of the necessity to lengthen the hip flexors. And that's a very common weakness I find in people who have tight hip flexors, is they do this band thing just like I did, except when they go here and they start to lower, it slips because they start to lose the stability of their spine. And that's one of the biggest reasons that their hip flexors feel tight, because they're really overused all day long, stabilizing the spine rather than the abs doing it. So if that is you, if you are the person who the band slips, what you do is you just work on the negative of this. So you get the band under your back and you just lower as far as you can without the band slipping. You're gonna have to think about crunching on your ribs like this. Keep your head down and then just go as far as you can, one leg at a time. If you can't get your legs up, you need to watch next week, because next week I'm going to show how do you fix your straight leg raise so you can actually get into that position. So make sure you tune in for next week's Movement Fix Monday. Make sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/themovementfix, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and check out the Instagram page at The Movement Fix. See you guys next week.